It's Championship Sunday here in the 2019 MAC volleyball season as today. It's the number 6 seed, Quinnipiac University, taking on the number 1 seed, Fairfield University, for the right to be the champions of this league and to gain the automatic qualifier spot into the NCAA tournament. How we got here to this point, both semifinal matches going the distance. Fairfield coming back against the 4th seeded Marist College Red Foxes. Meanwhile, Quinnipiac knocking off the number 3 seed Rider and the number 2 seed Canisius to get here to the final. And welcome inside the George Bisacca Court Alumni Hall alongside the 2018 MAC Player of the Year, Claire Archibald. I'm JJ Duke, and Claire, this is a matchup of two teams that are really finding the right form, and you've been really excited for this contest.
Yeah, well, not only are both these teams from Connecticut, so we will have a great turnout here in Alumni Hall, but also both of these teams are really good at what they do when they turn it on. Quinnipiac against Canisius last night, defense, defense, defense. They were all over that court, not letting anything drop on their side. Fairfield, on the other hand, they have such a strong process. They trust in what Coach Todd Kress teaches them, and they were able to come back 0-2 against Marist to win a 5-set victory. It was very exciting to watch.
There's stars on both sides, and it starts with the outside from Greece. That's Olga Zampati for Quinnipiac.
Yeah, Olga Zampati, she's only a sophomore, and she's currently leading this tournament with 35 kills, averaging 3.88 kills per set, 24 of those coming last night against the Canisius Golden Griffs. She has been very consistent for her team and will be pivotal in their effort to win a MAC championship here today.
Fairfield have both the setter and the player of the year. It comes in one form, Manuela Nicolini, and she was on point yesterday against Marist.
As I mentioned, last year she was out with an injury, but yesterday she's coming off of 53 assists, which is actually placing her 5 away from reaching 3,000 assists total in her career. She was crucial in the Stags' win against Marist. As I mentioned before, they were 0-2, and they came back ultimately to win, and she actually had the final kill in that final set. She will be a cornerstone for this Fairfield Stag team in their victory here at home. Quinnipiac is pretty good at reading their opponents. They did a great job against Canisius, shutting down Leah Simmons specifically, who didn't have that great of a match yesterday. And you have to give a lot of credit to Quinnipiac for stopping a lot of those balls coming across the court.
Yeah, Simmons yesterday, first team all-conference member, 8 kills, 7 errors, and 35 swings. They had to rely on Hannah Nelson and Ella Lucia to keep them in the matchup. Ultimately, of course, it was Quinnipiac in 5 overpass, and as you've said before, a Division I volleyball player has to put those overpasses down.
Exactly, and she was so smart. She could have easily taken a rip at that ball, but she did have number 26, Nicole Migliozzi's hands in front of her. She just placed that ball perfectly, getting her team the point.
Sherwin into the middle, and Quinnipiac gets themselves back on serve. And I like what the Bobcats have done. It's not always Oates in the middle. They do like to run their pins through the gap, and I think that's a different look that Fairfield aren't always accustomed to. We saw it last night with Canisius.
Yeah, both teams seem to have some tricks up their sleeves, running their players in different positions, throwing the blockers on the other side of the net off guard. We'll see if we see some more of that.
Great up by Balsano. Just throwing the right to keep it alive. However, Zampati puts that one long. And Zampati knew that she missed that one. That's outstanding work by Balsano. You have no time to react, and the fact that not only she cushioned it off the right arm, but got a perfect pass off, kept her team in it. But it'll be Callan serving, goes deep at Zampati. Clean pass to Oates, that is down. Now, I was very surprised that Callie Oates and Gabby Horman, to an extent, did not get as much work as they did. They had success in the pass against Canisius running middle, but instead it was Sherwin, Zalepi, and Zampati going through the gaps.
Well, I will say Callie Oates and also Gabby Horman, what they do not do sometimes in hitting percentages, getting those numbers and hitting, they do a great job at making up for it, getting blocks, getting digs, covering their pin hitters, and making sure that they're doing what they can for the team. Gabby Horman even got an assist last night. You know, they're all around just great players, everyone on this Quinnipiac team. They do what they can, and they step up in the role sometimes that they're not necessarily assigned.
Another swing into the block, and this one did go out of balance, hit off the wrong side of the net. Fairfield, once again, the block party is there. That's 6 in this set. And you talk about the middles getting assists. They celebrate those because they don't get assists too many times. And once again, Kyle Robinson needing to take a timeout. And I don't think it's a time for panic yet for Quinnipiac. They've certainly looked composed in the set. Fairfield are just on a nice little run of form. They've won 4 of the last 5 points.
Yeah, Quinnipiac, if I were Kyle Roberts right now in that huddle, I would definitely be telling them just focus on our side, 1 point at a time, just trust in our process. They know what to do to get the job done against these big teams like Fairfield, as we saw last night, like Canisius. They've been upsetting. They upset the number 3 seed. They upset the number 2 seed. What says that they can't upset the number 1 seed in this tournament? They are the underdogs in this matchup, but they know what to do. They have great skills defensively, offensively. They put up a pretty solid block. You never know what you're going to get out of this Quinnipiac team, but there is no, as you said, no reason why they should be in any panic mode at the moment.
Good atmosphere here today on Championship Sunday. The Fairfield Pep Band in fine voice. Good turnout yesterday in the Fairfield semifinal match, and even too for the other teams as well, matches that didn't involve the number 1 seed. It's been a nice atmosphere all weekend long. There's been some good volleyball played, of course, but this is what you expect. You expect a very full gym on a Championship Sunday, and when you have 2 teams that are not more than 30 miles apart from each other, 45 minutes on traffic, of course, but you get the point. This is a local rival. And it'll be Albertson to go back and serve with her team leading by 3. Make that 2 as she sends it long.
Give that point to Coach Robinson. Quinnipiac, sometimes they just take it to maybe freeze out the server. Lucy Albertson is a great server. She brings a really heavy hand to that ball, and sometimes it gets her an ace.
Set to Battle's far side. That ball goes about half the length. There we go. So yesterday we didn't have a clean dig, Claire. You get 1 in the book.
Yeah, nice little catch on that ball.
But that ball rolled about halfway across the tape, and Fairfield, they're not getting enough air under their shots. They're putting them very close to the tape. They've hit it a couple of times on serve as well. There you go again. Going high risk, high reward. And once again, Zalepi getting that down. That's her 7th kill in this first set.
And going off your point, high risk, high reward, this is the championship match. Obviously, you have to stay steady and limit your errors, but when you go for it, you need to commit. You need to go in for every single ball. Leave nothing on this floor, because this potentially is your last chance of playing, especially for some of these seniors, career-ending games. You want to remember them in the best way possible, getting that championship.
Set to Garcia, misses that one wide. That's a bit of a miss there from Maida Garcia. She had the 1v1, but couldn't keep it between the white lines.
You have to give credit, though, to Zalepi for kind of forcing her out of bounds. Shows great blocking on her part.
Got another big topspin jump, very tight pass. Nicolini able to get it across. Baker will have to swing out of the back row. And Fairfield getting that down. Good work by Butts and Garcia.
Yeah, really reading that ball, seeing it come across the plane of the net. Great job.
Fairfield as a team hitting just 156 in the set. They're actually benefiting more off the Quinnipiac errors and a couple of aces. Set wide, big swing from Zampati, scrambled to Zalepi. Now Seeger gets that down into the corner.
Laura Seeger really stepping up for her team this weekend. She's only a sophomore, but a few of these underclassmen on Fairfield are stepping up, playing like upperclassmen, playing like seniors, getting the job done for their team when maybe some of their key players aren't stepping up. Great job on Seeger's part.
Deep serve from Garcia. Fairfield, again, they're going high risk, high reward. That's their 3rd error as a team. They do have a couple of aces, but, second error, but they are, they're towing that line right now. The slide to Butts, good cover by Nicole Migliosi. Sherwin took a little something off that ball, but it forces a clean pass. Seeger off the body of Baker. And that swing goes long. Fairfield have 3 set points coming in this championship match. You want to play from out in front.
It was a nice idea on Quinnipiac's part to run Maggie Baker out of the back, but unfortunately there have been a few unforced errors from that back row attack. They might need to try and switch something up a bit. and they get an out-of-system ball.
Crowd to their feet as Morgendahl serves. Tight set. Fairfield, though, will have to scramble and send it across from the back row. Migliosi again, near sides, and Patti over by Radulovic. Horman was asking for it, tight, but that one just goes out off the block.
That's going to be the key for Quinnipiac, using that Fairfield block. They are very strong and they are very large. Quinnipiac a little undersized compared to this Fairfield team. They need to use that block as they did in that last play.
Tight pass from Dahl. Chance here for Quinnipiac to cut it to one. Sherwin again. Lot of air, puts it long. Fairfield take the opening set. It was certainly back and forth between these two Nutmeg State rivals, but Fairfield able to take the early lead. Back in a moment on ESPN+.